Welcome to the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Lolita Guarin, and today is episode 184. And we continue the conversation about that you can encounter some stressors on the way to success and how to deal with them. So today I want to talk about overthinking. Yes, especially for those people who really want to be making it everything possibly just perfect relationships, perfect actions, the perfect looks, the perfect talks, the perfect everything. As you know, it's very difficult to have a life being perfect because life itself is not really perfect. I don't think even there is a perfection in the nature too, because everything is already perfect by default because it's so unique. So where is all this overthinking come? Obviously, this overthinking could be just a characteristic that somebody has. That's the personality type. But also, it can come from how you learned to, well, deal with situations when you were a child. So, for example, if you grew up in an environment that your parents or your caregivers were always overthinking, then you can grow up in this kind of pattern of thinking, I just have to always overthink everything. Also, it could be that you are afraid to make a decision because kind of deep down inside you feel like this is not really yours. So you can analyze the situation constantly and you kind of stuck. So obviously it's not really helping you to move forward also or achieve success because you're just kind of overthinking and you're not really moving forward anyway. Also, it could be that the situation is serving you somehow. For example, maybe you are afraid of stress, stress of success, and achieving something. So you're like, I'm just gonna sit here and overanalyze because I will contemplate every single possible way what can go wrong. How about if we already spending the time about overanalyzing something and paying attention to something what can may go wrong, you start really looking at something what if it's actually gonna work out? How about that? There's plenty of possibilities that can work out and you can be successful. So let's talk about that and then move. So it could be that when you were making decisions when you were a child, your decisions were told that you were wrong, or lots of things were decided for you. So you really don't have this confidence of making your own choices. And this could be very stressful because now when you're an adult, you may be thinking whatever I choose is probably wrong. And especially if that includes a lot of people in your life or your company or people that you love, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure. I rather just not even make any decision at all. I'm just gonna sit here and contemplate forever. Um, what is that you do in the cases like that? Start small. It is kind of very similar advice that from previous episode yesterday, where I was saying that if you really resistant to change and inflexible and like there are some fears and some patterns that kind of keeping you locked up. The same as with overthinking, start doing something small to build confidence and show to you that well, whatever you're making it, probably life cannot be so complicated. You just need to have more confidence, really. So build it by doing something repeatedly, like day after day, until you see, like, oh, you know what? I actually did this. I changed this. This is different than I used to do, and nobody died. Well, I mean, hopefully nobody died. And you do small things like drinking more water, and then you feel better. You know what I'm talking about. So, and that's how you tell yourself that you can make decisions and things can change, but also they can change not so drastically, so you are not afraid for those changes. Um, and if you are listening to this and you have some observations or some things that you implemented in your life that helped you a lot with, being afraid of changes or um, overthinking. I would love to hear your opinion and your tips because I think when we share the most of whatever we already know, we can help others and inspire others. So leave me a comment below if you had this kind of some pattern in your life that you were over contemplating and over analyzing, and then it helped you. please leave me a comment below. And tomorrow we'll be continuously talking about what can be stressful on the way to success.